Hello there, and welcome to my channel Novice Modelling in the Midlife Crisis. My name is Andy and I am the Novice Modeller, and today we're doing a progress update on my ICM model kit number DS7202 titled Over All of Spain the Sky is Clear, which features the Tupolev SB2 of the Republican Air Force, which is being swooped on by a couple of ME-109s of the Nationalist Air Force. This is just basically me showing you where I got to with these, because I've been faffing around with these things since early August, or longer it seems. But we've made a bit of progress over the weekend between doing other stuff, and we've painted our 109s up, and we have painted up the Tupolev in a rather mad fashion. So this is an official peeling off the mask episode as well, which I do occasionally when I put masks on things and I say, "Ew, look at this." So anyway, we'll have a look at that in a minute, and we'll have a look at these 109s first, because they've come out a little bit more conventional, shall we say, than the little Tupolev. So since these were last seen, they've had their painting put on. We've used blue-grey ICM underneath. We've gone a bit light on the paint, but it's given it a sort of dirty, worn effect, which I suppose is kind of good, because they wouldn't be perfectly clean. We are thinking about maybe putting a bit of a panel line wash on this, depending on how well the varnish goes on. But as you can see, we've got it grey. We've got the black flash stripes on, which I think you can just about see here. We've got white wingtips. So this is basically ready for a varnish. Needs its wheels putting on and a few other things. And the decals, obviously, at some point. But they went together very nicely, I've got to admit. ICM kits for me in the past have been a bit of a because they've been kind of complicated and disjointed, and quite heavy on detail, like engines that you never see unless you want to open them up, which are kind of nice, but I don't know. So there's those two out of the way. As you can see, we've been rocking the ICM 80 colour 3004 paint set, and I must admit it's been really, really, really nice just to look at a painting specs and go, there it is, there it is, there it is, there it is, job done, and not need any other colours. And that's what I thought until I got to the 1057 ochre, but we'll move on to that in a second. I mean, I paid for the ICM kits, I paid about 70 quid for it about 8 months ago, and I don't see it available anywhere in the UK on eBay at the moment. And for £70 AC colours of, I think these are 12mm bottles, it was an absolute steal. But currently these don't seem to be on eBay in the UK, and you can only pick them up from Germany for about £120. Oh, Germany, that reminds me, happy Oktoberfest, Germany. I've been drinking Brewdog Oktoberfest over the weekend. I didn't mean to mention it. I have actually been to Munich for Oktoberfest about 15 years ago. And if you hang around to the end, I'll tell you a story about that maybe. Unfortunately, I'm not a Bayern fan. I'm a lifelong Liverpool fan. And since Liverpool is an ex-Jurgen Klopp team, I'm an adoptive yellow man. So, sorry about that. I'm all for Dortmund. Never mind. They don't win that much. I know Bayern have a monopoly, but there we go. So, we've used all of the recommended colours, or we have all the recommended colours so far for this. We haven't quite used them all yet. And as far as the ICM paints go, they're really gloopy at first, but they need waking up with some thinners. But they, in the airbrush, they work nice. So if you ever find these for, you know, a decent price, I'd get them, to be honest with you. They're great. It's great having all the paints for a kit. There are some colours that I'm adding to this. The natural steel, which isn't recommended, which I've painted my engine manifolds on so far, because they were just stated black. I've got a bit of copper here, which I'm going to put in with a load of thinners and add some sort of rust effects to it. Strangely, they didn't recommend the rubber black, even though they have it for tyres. Don't know why. So they're the ones that they're 2 or 3 of the colours that we're adding. And now let's move on to this ochre, which you can't actually see on the Tupolev at the moment. But on the painting diagram, you can see we've got a 2-tone painting here, which I've completely ignored, and I'll explain why in a moment. And it clearly says here, what we are, is it M? I think it's M for this beige colour. And you turn over and it says M ochre 1037, and here we have M ochre 1057. Is that 1057? Yeah, 1057 and 1057, and they're completely different colours. That's a completely different colour to that. I mean, it's like mustard. But, and this is where this has sort of come in, the inspirational madness that's going on here. When you look at the box, you have ochre on the aircraft, and it's the same aircraft number, 33. Where am I? 33, it's the same aircraft number. And it's quite clearly got brown, and I mean, I look at this and I see maybe 2 greens. That's what I see. And it's this sort of very sort of speckled effect, which I've no idea how to achieve, and I've no idea really what's going on the wings and whatnot without some sort of guidance off that, which just says do this, and I've no idea. To be quite honest with you, I really struggle to think about how to do that, especially after I'd already painted it in this. So this is what I've come up with. I've added, kind of badly, olive green, which kind of looks like a nicer colour in the tub. I don't blame ICM for this. All colours when they're in the tub look a completely different colour when you load them, since you load them into the airbrush. And I've added British khaki for this brown. I've then made snakes with a rolling pin out of my AK plastic putty, or elastic putty, sorry, for camouflage, which I've draped all over my 2BM, SB2 even. And then I've, there was the ochre underneath here, and then I've painted my other 2 greens and a brown on top. Incidentally, the 4BO green here is the recommended green to use for that, and that is this one here. So what I'm trying to go for is this. But I mean, at the end of the day, the way I look at this, especially in something like the Spanish Civil War, with the certainly with the Republican Air Force, these things probably would have just been painted, you know, ad hoc. And who knows what sort of Pablo Picasso could have got their hands on the nice little aircraft that they've got. So, I mean, I've just painted this up. I mean, it's kind of a... I kind of wanted to get this stuff out again, and I was kind of curious to do something a little bit complicated. So, this is what I've come up with. So, we're going to peel this off now. I'll peel the paper off as well, but I'll edit that. And we'll see how this comes out. Because, quite honestly, I have no goddamn idea what's going to happen when I peel this off. And apart from the olive green being a bit green, that's kind of interesting. And for a kit that's been sitting around, I've been procrastinating and trying to avoid, because I kind of like this, actually. That looks kind of nice. Wow. Yeah. So, oh, hello, baby. So what do you think so far? I mean, that looks... I know it's nothing like what's on the box or nothing like what's on the kit, but I think it looks friggin' awesome, to be honest with you. Wow. Oh, we got a bit of mess up there, but never mind. Oh, cool. So let's just keep going with this. I mean, I think really that maybe my bits of masking should have been thinner. I think that would be a preferential here, but I love it. I know, like I say, I know it's nothing like what it's supposed to be, but Jesus, well, that's just cool. That's hell. Look at that. I even like the mustard colour now. I've spent a week or so thinking, Jesus, I should just repaint this a different colour, but I'm glad I didn't now. Look at that. That looks friggin' awesome. I like. So, yeah. I mean, this is just grey underneath, so I figure that I'll just peel that off camera because it's kind of boring. I do need to put some red stripes on the wings, as here, and on the fuselage as well. And they will be going on. I will be doing that at a later stage. But what do you think of that? I think that's cool as hell. For anyone that hasn't seen this AK plastic camouflage, I'll put a link in the description bar at the end of the video to me actually applying this. It basically looks like that, and this is kind of what it looks like when you put it in the tin after you've used it. And all of the paint is kind of, I don't know, it's kind of magic. It gets absorbed into the thing, and if you leave it overnight, I've got 2 tins obviously, it looks like that. Isn't that cool? So by tomorrow, that will turn into that, and it's ready to use again and again and again and again. No more expensive masking tape for me, I tell you. Right, so... oh, that's cool as hell. It's not right. I know it's not right. I know it's not historically accurate, but for me, this plane has been a absolute pain in the butt to put together. Probably my own fault, but they swore there. I think that was cool. Right, so next up with this, as you can see on the diagram here, the frames of the cockpits and visors and whatever are silver, which is kind of weird. Now, we bought our gallery metallic markers the other day, and I'm going to use one of these on the cockpit canopies and whatnot, because why the hell not? It's silver on there. I'm going to put silver on here. This is kind of one of the reasons why I went for these, just to try them out. I am actually thinking about buying the AK full colour set as well, but these were cheaper at the time by half, and you don't get as many colours, but I just wanted to try something out. So we're going to be using them on the cockpit canopy for this. So there we go. So I'll tell you my little Oktoberfest story. I went to Oktoberfest on a stag do when I was 32 or 33, with a lifelong friend called Chris, and he got married, and we went over to Munich and spent about 3 or maybe 4 nights there, and at Oktoberfest, and obviously you spend most of your time drinking and eating chicken. I seem to remember roasted chicken, very large pretzels, lots of apple strudel, and more drink. We actually met a bona fide NFL Super Bowl guy from 1983 with a Super Bowl ring on his finger, the great big Super Bowl ring. There's another funny story about that, but I won't bother you. But anyway, I kind of overindulged, and by the last night, I was suffering from incredibly swollen ankles, and I was feeling rough as hell. I mean, and by the third night, I was suffering from incredibly swollen ankles, and I was feeling rough as hell. And I went off to the little medical hut on Oktoberfest, and I said to the doctors there, I said, look at this here, what the hell's wrong with me? My feet are swelling up. They were massive. My ankles were massive, and Germans actually have a sense of humour. The guy said, oh, we need to cut them off. He didn't quite know what exactly was wrong with me, but he said it was quite obviously over consumption. And I went to the doctors back in the UK when I got back, and the guy said, the doctor said there that probably I was suffering from gout. So yeah, that's my little funny story for the day anyway. So we're going to move on with this over the coming week, while we're in the evenings, while we're at work, and we're hoping to get these finished off for next weekend, along with a couple of other things. And then we'll be moving on, hopefully on Sunday, to something new. I just want to get these things finished off before I move on to anything else. So what do you think of that? Oh, it's mad. Oh, anyway, Thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and I hope everybody in Munich has had a really good Oktoberfest this year, because it finished yesterday. But like I say, the yellow men are for me. Thanks very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe, and as always, be seeing you.